The aim of this video is to show how to set up a pop group population projection model for a sub-council area. The focus here is on Aberdeenshire. The assumption is that such setup files will be provided regularly by the improvement service as demographic data is updated over time. So here I'm going to use files that relate to the original SCAP projections produced by National Records of Scotland. So the first thing to do here is to open the setup file, which in the future would be provided. So this setup file contains details of the population groups or areas for which the projections would be produced. And it also contains details on where the folders associated with the pop group model will be saved. So this particular example relates to Aberdeenshire. It takes 2011 as the base year of the projection. The model folders are saved within the pop group folder. And we have details of where the standard rates for the projection will be taken from. The rates of fertility, mortality and migration. We have details of the sub-council areas that are part of Aberdeenshire, and so these were defined as part of a consultation between National Records of Scotland and each of the council areas across Scotland, and in Aberdeenshire 19 were selected or identified, and we can see the details of these in this table here. We also have information on special populations, which can be included within our model or not, and information on the migration streams. And one can see that only one migration stream, one migration type is specified here. So we're not distinguishing here between the migration within the UK and overseas outside the UK. So I can now run this setup folder, which will create a set of pop group files within the skeleton folder that can then be used to produce sub-council area projections for Aberdeenshire for these 19 areas in particular. So I get a warning here to say that only one type of migration is specified, which is as I intend, so I can click OK here. So finally, once the setup model has run, you'll get a message to say that all skeleton input workbooks have been created, giving details of where these have been saved and telling us that we can now start entering data into them. So if I click on OK here, we can look at what that setup file has done. If I look in my pop group folder, we can now see that I have 3 folders that relate to Aberdeenshire. So the input folder and the output folder have no data in them. We haven't run a projection. We haven't specified any input folders. If we look in the skeleton folders, we can now see a whole set of folders relating to our base population, relating to fertility, mortality, and migration, and so on. So if I open one of those, the pop base folder, one can see that I now have a Excel sheet which allows me to enter population data for my base year according to each of the 19 sub-council areas within Aberdeenshire. And similarly, if I look at a a skeleton file for, say, fertility. One can see that I now have a standard schedule, and I have a tab or sheet for each of the 19 areas where I can enter differentials or other demographic statistics to show how the fertility experience within each of these sub-council areas varies from Aberdeenshire, the total, and also the national schedule.